Only 20 Jedi had ever left the Order. They were known as the Lost 20, a minuscule amount compared to the hundreds of thousands of Jedi that had served over the generations. So when Count Dooku left the Order, it was a painful moment for the Jedi, especially because this powerful Jedi was one of Master Yoda's own students. In Attack of the Clones, Dooku makes a bold claim about his former Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn, to the captive Obi-Wan Kenobi on Geonosis. Dooku said, "I wish he were still alive. I could use his help right now." He knew all about the corruption in the Senate, but he would never have gone along with it if he had learned the truth, as I have. The truth, of course, is that the Sith controlled the Republic. So why would Dooku think that he would have been able to convince Qui-Gon to join the Separatist cause? And not only that, but presumably join the dark side. First off, Qui-Gon was not the most rule-abiding Jedi. Obi-Wan Kenobi even stated that Qui-Gon would have been sitting on the Jedi Council if he just followed the Jedi Code. Jinn, however, didn't see the Jedi Code and the Force as one and the same. Qui-Gon trusted his own instincts and believed he must always act in accordance with the will of the Force, regardless of the Jedi's rules, which he saw as guidelines and could actually act as obstacles to serving the Force. So on the surface, it seems that Dooku was right to assume that his former Padawan would have joined him. However, in the canon novel Master and Apprentice, we learn that there was more to Qui-Gon and that he would have rejected Dooku. The rift of the dark and light between Dooku and Jinn began during Qui-Gon's training when he was only 14 years old, and he was kidnapped by an evil bounty hunter, Shenda Mole, who intended to torture and kill the young Padawan. Dooku struggled to save Qui-Gon, and in his fear and anger dipped into the dark side and tortured Shenda himself, and even used a type of Force lightning on her. Although Qui-Gon didn't see this, the sounds, the smells, and the disturbance in the Force made a lasting impression on Qui-Gon, and the relationship between the Master and the Apprentice was never the same, making Qui-Gon always weary of the dark side. That moment further led to one of Qui-Gon's most personal decisions that ultimately defined who he was, not only as a person, but as a Jedi. While Qui-Gon believed that rules could be broken, he believed even more strongly that any Force user must decide early on to either serve the light side or the dark, and he was determined to follow the light. In Master and Apprentice, he says, "I don't turn towards the light because it means someday I'll win some sort of cosmic game. I turn toward it because it is the light." This seems to be the difference between Qui-Gon and the Sith. So while Qui-Gon may break some rules, he is selfless and serves the Force without any thought of reward for himself. Dooku and Anakin, on the other hand, bent the rules of the Jedi for their own good and benefit, which eventually led to their falls to the dark side.